The Knicks continue to deal with injuries. According to the latest reports, Deuce McBride is currently dealing with knee inflammation. And because of that, he is currently questionable for tonight's game against the Philadelphia 76ers. If that wasn't bad enough, we have a shocking defensive stat to reveal about Karl Anthony Towns. And spoiler alert, it is not good. We're going to break down all of these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. McBride is dealing with knee inflammation. If there is one thing we do not need to deal with right now, it's more injuries. Campaign, questionable for tonight's game with a hamstring injury. Preston Achiuwa, out with tonight's game with a hamstring injury. Mitchell Robinson, still rehabbing that injured ankle. What I'm saying is we have a number of players already out. If we miss Deuce McBride off the bench, he's basically our bench. He's basically the scoring from the bench. If he's gone, I don't know what Tom Thibodeau is going to do or what this Knicks team's going to do. But at least according to these latest reports, this is something to watch going into tonight's game because now McBride is now on the injury report and he is listed as questionable. Let's take a look at those reports. Shout out to New York Basketball on the app X for giving us the following information. According to them and Knicks PR, they give us the following. Deuce McBride, left knee inflammation, questionable on Tuesday against Philly. Campaign, still questionable with that strained left hamstring. Now listen, I'm not going to blame Tom Thibodeau for this one in regards to the minutes or the rotation, but I'll say this. Tom Thibodeau, if Deuce McBride is out, must expand his rotation because there is no way the Knicks are going to survive playing the starters 48 minutes. I do not want to see a 5-man rotation. And I don't want to see a 7-man rotation with Tyler Kolek playing 4 minutes and Jericho Sims playing 9 minutes. That is not going to work. It can't work. You need to expand the rotation. This is game 10. We are in early November. There is no reason why you shouldn't lean on your bench, utilize them, and rest your starters. If you do that, maybe you're going to allow the opposing team to score a little bit more. But in the process, your starters are going to be able to rest and give you more effort come the closing moments, come that fourth quarter. So they're not tired. So they don't have tired legs. So they have more lift in their legs to make shots. We have to think about the team. We have to think about our starters. And we have to think about injuries. If we continue to play the starters like this, run them into the ground, what do you think's going to happen? We don't have to take a guess. All we have to do is look at what happened last year. It led to injuries. It's going to happen again this year if we do not correct it. Tom Thibodeau, the coaching staff, I am looking at all of you guys moving forward. The starters should never be playing more than 35 minutes. Lean on your bench and continue to play your bench. And as you get healthier and you get more players back, you can start to utilize the players you trust in the lineup. But until then, you're going to have to develop some trust in the bench. Tyler Kolek is good enough to give you 15 minutes. Huck Porty is good enough to give you 15 minutes. Sims, give him 10 minutes. Pacome Dadier, give him 9 to 10 minutes. Give these guys time, and I promise you, they're going to develop, they're going to produce, and come the playoffs, you're going to be thankful that you did this. But something else the Knicks need to clean up. Something that you don't even need to look at a stat sheet to understand the Knicks have a problem with. Interior defense. The Knicks just don't have that imposing threat inside to deter any type of players that want to go inside, make that shot, Euro step around our players, and get to the basket easily. Karl Anthony Towns, for everything he does on offense, which has been good, on the defensive end, he has been one of the worst rim protectors in the league. And it's not just me saying that. This is according to the stats. Let's break down exactly what ESPN had to say about Towns and how he's protecting the rim right now. Shout out to Tim Bontemps of ESPN for giving us the following information. According to him, Karl Anthony Towns is allowing 91.4% shooting Players are shooting 32 for 35 against Cat in the restricted area this season. 32 for 35, equaling 91%. That basically means if you're an opposing player and you see Towns in the paint and you go at him, almost always those are going to be points you convert on, and we're going the other way. That's what that means. That's why it's shocking. It's scary. But here's the thing. I've heard a lot of people on X, a lot of people on social media claim that that stat just simply isn't true. Karl-Anthony Towns is a little bit better than that. Okay, let's say I give you that. Let's say it's not 91. Let's say it's 80%. Does that make anybody feel any better? Do you feel better that, oh, it's not 91, it's just 80? That's still horrendous. It's horrible. It's something that as Knicks fans, we are not used to seeing inside. Inside, we're used to seeing dominant, aggressive, physical defense from the likes of Mitchell Robinson or Isaiah Hartenstein. With Karl-Anthony Towns, I knew what we were getting when he got to this team. Somebody who was gifted offensively, one of the best big man shooters in the league, but also a player that another team had to trade significant assets to get another big to pair alongside him. And there's a reason for that, because as gifted as he is on the offensive side of the ball, defensively, especially as he gets older, he is going to get worse and worse and worse. I have said on this channel from the start, Towns needs to play the 4, and we need to play him alongside another dominant 5. Whether you do that for significant minutes or not, I have been stating for a while now, that's what I think the Knicks can do. And now you're seeing why. 91.4% shooting is what Towns is allowing in the restricted area, which, by the way, it's the worst defensive percentage for any player who has guarded at least 30 shots at the rim. I'm not saying the Knicks defense is only on Towns and it's only Towns' fault. As you've seen in a number of my videos, I've put blame on Tom Thibodeau, on Towns, on some of the coaching staff, on some of the players on the court, like Mikal Bridges, like the help defense, like Josh Hart at times. I've even mentioned that for me, one of the best players on the team right now is OG Anunoby. Not because of how aggressive he is on offense, but just because of that elite defense he's still giving the Knicks. Can you imagine what this team would look like defensively without OG? If OG went down, and that's another reason I'm concerned about the minutes. Even though it's not bothered the Knicks right now or any of our players, OG Anunoby has consistently been playing more than 38 minutes a game. And at some point, it's going to catch up to us and the Knicks. If we lose OG, we're going to have a problem. Something else I want to go to here. Karl-Anthony Towns is the prototypical 5 on offense in the NBA, and he's not the prototypical 4 on defense in the NBA. So you need to get another 5 around him. This is coming from The Athletic's James L. Edwards, and this is regarding Cat playing the 5. Once again, Towns is currently allowing the most points at the rim in the restricted area. Experiment. Make a change. Take a chance. Put Ariel Hukporti along with Karl-Anthony Towns in certain lineups at certain times. Maybe start off the second quarter with it. Maybe start off the fourth quarter with it. Maybe do that a few times. Try a few things. See if something works better than others. Because I truly feel if you put a dominant 5 next to Karl-Anthony Towns, it will unlock this team and unlock Towns. He'll give you whatever defense he can give you at the 4. But more importantly, he'll be able to do something that we've never seen before. Have a 4 at that size. Drive to the basket whenever he wants. Pass the ball at the top of the key whenever he wants. Make the 3 or fake the 3 whenever he wants, and has the ability to knock it down at an extraordinary rate. That's what Towns can give you as the free roamer at the 4 if the Knicks can pair him alongside another 5. If that's Mitchell Robinson. If that's Ariel Hukporti. If that's a player that we still haven't traded for yet. I'm not sure, but it's clear. Given the numbers, given what we've seen with our eyes, you can forget the stat sheet. If you're like me and you're watching these games intensely and you're looking at the defense, you already see it like I do. The paint defense, the interior defense. It's not the same anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's different. And as a team, we have to acknowledge the difference and make an adjustment. If we don't, every single game, you're going to see the same thing, get mad about the same thing, and see myself frustrated about the exact same thing. He's a good 5 on offense, but a poor 5 on defense. Put another 5 next to him or another big next to him, and he will thrive. Mark my words on that. But what about you guys? What do you think about the following injury report indicating that Deuce McBride is currently questionable for tonight's game with left knee inflammation? And what do you think about this shocking defensive stat that Karl Anthony Towns is currently allowing 91.4% shooting, which means players are shooting 32 for 35 against Cat in the restricted area this season? The worst defensive percentage for any player who has guarded at least 30 shots at the rim this year. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.